Greetings, my human friends. This is Rudolf, the tall white alien. In my last video, on the 30th of October, I give you a handful of predictions for the future days, weeks, and months. Some of it already came to pass. The FBI is trying to cover themselves as good as possible by turning against Mrs. Hillary Clinton and knowing that the White House is interwoven in her affairs, also slowly and very carefully turning against their own government. This has not happened in a long time, and we talk about since Watergate, you haven't seen a scenario like that. Mrs. Hillary Clinton knows that her chances to become the President of the United States are diminishing by the hour. She and her clan is right now preparing themselves for the time after the election, if an election at all will take place. I put this into question in my last video as well, as you remember. I said that the possibility that the elections will be cancelled is still in the air. It is still a possibility. But if the elections go through and Donald Trump, as we hope, will be the next president, for this scenario, the Clintons are already working on their way out and trying to have so much damage control as possible put into place. They are willing to take everybody in the Obama administration, in the Justice Department, even in the press, so they keep a blackmailing situation, for example, on CNN right now. CNN would love to, because they're also afraid, because they're so intermingled with the Clintons, they would love to distance themselves further from her, as I also have predicted, but they cannot at this point of time, because there are too much dirty deals which have been done between the Democratic Party and the Clintons with CNN, the New York Times, and so on, that they can go full power against her, because then they would, from the sides of the Clintons, brought so much of the dirty deals which they have done with each other into daylight that they would damage themselves too much and lose all the credibility which is still left in the public, and they would certainly take a big hit. So this is a situation where everybody tries to only save their own necks. The Clintons already know there is no such a thing as a clean presidency of Mrs. Hillary Clinton, and if she at all will run for, if she at all will go into the end game and trying to get the presidency, it will only be a face-saving situation, because she knows that if she is being elected president, which the likelihood is very small at the moment, then there would be all hell break loose afterwards. Because the American people are not going for this. A majority of the American people are completely aware what a crime family the Clintons are, and they would never accept a Clinton for president in the future, even if Mrs. Hillary Clinton is being voted for, which it looks right now that she is not. So be aware that there will be some upheaval in and around the time of the election. If the election takes place, I was putting this into question already in my last video, of course, and that the FBI is going now after the administration of Obama. I also predicted all these things, and that Obama will distance himself and his wife from the Clintons as far as they can, but also this is too late. So the most important thing we have to concentrate on right now is the time after the still possible elections. There will be some strange happenings in the next few days, and if we let this time pass, and I'm the very first one who looks at the big picture and not on the day-by-day political affairs, then you should concentrate on something very beautiful. What comes out of this whole game is certainly a very large possibility of financial gains for the right people who had the foresight, who have understood the signs written onto the wall, that the chances for the dollar, at least temporarily, the chances for the dollar to go down is absolutely great. It already started, and gold will go up. I told you that also in the 30th of October video. Gold is going up already a little bit right now, and if the scenario around the election is becoming more and more in favor of Donald Trump, or if the situation becomes more and more dramatic around the White House itself, then you will see a very large increase of the gold and silver price. The stock market will go down, and it might even bring the whole financial situation down, as it is expected from many, many specialists, because of the debts which are already accumulated. It might bring the whole thing down in the next couple of weeks. But if it doesn't, keep your eyes on the gold price, and right now it is still possible to get into gold for a relatively cheap amount of money. Certainly gold is the safer bet right now than the US dollar in a scenario where the leadership of America is falling completely apart, and nobody really knows what's going to happen after the 8th of November. So there is a chance for smart people to get into gold right now, and the rest of the story will unfold more or less as I have predicted to you on the 30th of October. Your Rudolf of Germany.